Another Burkinabe citizen escapes hanging. The dying regime of the tyrant Ouattara descends into horror. The agony of Rokia Traoré, a tortured person. The Ivorian regime has just crossed a new threshold into abjection. After the cover-up assassination of Alino Fazo, Rokia Traoré's name is now added to the list of victims of Alassane Ouattara's repressive machine, activated in the shadows by his brother, Tani Birahima Ouattara, known as the Vile. This time, the target is a woman. A mother. A wife. An innocent. It all begins with the arrest of her husband, Ahmed Traoré, a young Burkinabe national, suspected without proof of subversive activities, simply for visiting his family in Burkina Faso. Following a tip-off from agent Koni Khalil Ibrahim, he is arrested on May 31, 2025, and taken to the Sibroco Hotel, which has become an unofficial detention center where bodies and minds are broken, protected from the law. But her husband stands firm. He doesn't give in. So, the regime chooses to attack what he holds most dear, his wife. On June 26, 2025, Rokia Traoré, 3 months pregnant, is also kidnapped, along with her brother-in-law and sister-in-law. They are taken to the Plateau Research Brigade in Abidjan. Brutal interrogations, humiliations, and a complete lack of legal basis. The beatings, the stress, the fear, and soon the irreparable, she suffered a miscarriage in her cell, to the absolute indifference of her jailers. Weakened, haggard, and collapsed, she attempted to hang herself on the night of July 27 to 28, 2025. She was found at the last minute. Taken to the Abidjan Military Hospital, she was between life and death. Her condition was critical. Her mind was broken. Her body was exhausted. Faced with growing indignation even within the ranks of the gendarmerie, the senior commander of the National Gendarmerie, General Apollo Touré, convinced Tani Birahima Ouattara to discreetly release this victim, who had become an embarrassment. But the persecution continued. On July 30, 2025, Rokia Traoré was brought before Judge Imeline Kambou of the 10th Chamber. By political order, she was placed under judicial supervision, despite her deplorable medical condition. Today, Rokia Traoré survives in Yopougon Masikro, in a poor neighborhood, without care or assistance, with her 2 children. She suffers from persistent pain, recurring hemorrhages, and severe anxiety. She returned to an emergency clinic just days after her release. Her life is in danger. And yet, nothing. No reaction. No NGOs. No media. No international outrage. Silence. But silence kills, and Chris Yapi will break it. Rokia Traoré has committed no crime. Her only crime, having married a man unjustly named by a state spy, Koni Khalil Ibrahim, the same name that crops up in all cases of kidnapping, torture, and manipulation. I publicly call on human rights organizations, FIDH, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, LIDHO. The embassies involved, Burkina Faso, France, the United States, Liberia, and the United Nations. African consciences and peoples in solidarity around the world. Act. Demand accountability. Protect this woman. Because at this point, it's no longer about politics. It's about life or death. Rokia Traoré is one example among many others. Young Pehi Eric, a Liberian national, detained without legs after torture sessions in Sibroco. Dozens of Burkinabe interned without trial at the Agban Gendarmerie camp, in Kumasi, at the DST, without rights, without care, without a voice. And behind all these cases, the same perpetrator, the same network, the same modus operandi. Koni Khalil Ibrahim, unofficial agent, domestic spy, zealous executioner. Chris Yapi will soon return to his methods, his missions, his protectors. Côte d'Ivoire is suffocating under the weight of terror. But as long as the truth breathes, terror will not win.
Lord, why is it up to us to fight the devil? What are the angels doing there? What are the angels doing there, Lord?
Chris Yapi does not lie. Find Chris Yapi on his 2 YouTube channels, his Rumble channel, his TikTok, X, Instagram, VK and Threads accounts.